truth, Sarah.
I'm the one getting the BT. You keep dreaming of yourself getting an early global rework, but
You will not survive to see it.
I know the truth, Caius. I know that every time I change things, I lose a part of my life. But don't you see? I don't care.
I want my BT! I want my rework!
How very
no.
of you. But you shall die first.
Hey everyone, welcome back and thank you once again for tuning back into my channel. Today we're going to be talking about what's to come for the remaining month of April. But before we proceed to talk more defo, again as usual, big thank you to Leobob and Zedekiah for the translation that the both of them has posted in Discord, which I will be reading it off from. So with that, let's dive in and talk about what content we can look forward to. Yes, that is correct. If you watch my intro video, then you will know that Caius will be the next unit getting the BT. And this BT will be dropping on the upcoming Transcendence 6, which is arriving in a few hours time. So let's go through what Caius' BT does. His weapon is called Eternity Chaos. Okay, I gotta say his weapon kinda reminded me of the 10 tails from Naruto. The sword edges are the tails and the center here is the ice thingy. I think it's called Rinne Sharingan? Okay, sorry, back to topic. So his BT ability is called Incarnate Summoning, which is an AoE melee plus AoE HP attack, and it triggers a following burst effect whereby the enemies will always get force broken whenever they have all of Caius' Chaos debuff on. Yes, all 4 of his frame Chaos debuff needs to be on. And lastly, it provides party stats up, which again, probably the usual HP damage up and Brave damage up. So that's his BT, but I'm kind of more interested on what kind of a rework Caius will get since he's getting one alongside with the units, which we will be covering later on, except for one. Next up, so Golbez will be the next BT Plus unit alongside with Caius. Moreover, he is getting a rework again as well. So we don't really know what kind of a rework he's getting. Probably a minor one since he's already gotten a rework when his BT debuted. But still, I'm quite excited to see what kind of a rework he's gonna get. So now you might be wondering, both Caius and Golbez LD will be getting a rerun. Are this banner gonna just be a rerun LD banner? Well, not exactly, because there's one new LD dropping along with Caius and Golbez. And that person is, that's right, Miss Buyaka's LD will also be dropping on the upcoming Transcendence 6. But on which banner though? My bet is that her LD will be tagged along with Golbez's banner, I think. Well, anyway, let's go through what she will be getting for her LD. Also, just a reminder to everyone, she is also getting a rework as well. So her LD weapon is called Strange Vision, which is her ultimate weapon in FF8, and her LD ability is called Rapture, which is a limit break where Selphie casts a spell called Float, and it looks something like this. So yeah, the enemies just flew off, similar to Cloud's finishing touch in the original FF7, which means, you guessed it, her LD is able to launch all enemies. Alright, let's go through the details. Her LD does sets all enemies brave to 0, recovers brave to the party, and deals HP damage to all enemies based on party's total brave, and it does not consume her own brave. Delays all enemies' turn order by 2 and launches the enemy. Also, it inflicts a frame debuff to all enemies called Rapture. So Rapture does the following: easier to initiate chase, similar to Leo's gravity debuff, and it reduces the duration of the debuff whenever it receives a brave or HP attack. That's a bit weird. I guess it's the dev trying to tell us,
Yeah, you can launch the enemies easier, but only a set number of times. Ha ha ha, deal with it.
Okay, sorry, I was just being sarcastic. Also, she gets a new buff from her LD called Love and Friendship, a plan of courage. A very fitting buff name for Selphie, I say. Lastly, she will also be getting an alternate costume. So not to be confused, this isn't a Seed uniform but a Balamb Garden uniform. This is how a Seed uniform looks like on Selphie, and this is how a Balamb Garden uniform looks like on Selphie. Remember when she fell off a cliff during the dollar mission in FF8? Yep, so this is the alternate costume she's getting. Next up,
And this time, Leon and actress LD will be the featured LD, and with an attractive price of 6,000 yen, you get 10,000 shares. One LD gacha ticket which gives you a chance of either getting one of his LDs, using your money.
okay, whatever, next. Woohoo! Kain will be the next feature intertwined Whale's story, and yes, he will be getting a LD. But no rework, similar to Garnet not getting a rework. So is this the kind of treatment that all intertwined Whales featured units won't be getting a rework? Well, fear not, because his LD is a really interesting one. So interesting that Freya fans will be proud. Okay, sorry, I was being sarcastic again. Please don't dislike my video. So Kain's LD weapon is called Spear of Ordeals, and it gives him the LD ability called Rising Drive. And his LD does recover Braves to self and then deals a single target range Brave plus HP attack. Runs himself I believe it's an overhead buff called Power of Dragons, which is an stack based buff, similar to Garnet again. So his overhead buff does these: self stats up, which doesn't decrease based on stacks, increases stacks after own turn, and turns Brave attack to double jump once at max stacks, which we don't know what the max stack is yet. So double jump is an attack that recovers Brave to self, leaps into the air until the next turn. Yup, the classic Dragoon style whereby he leaps into the air and doesn't come back down until his next turn. Once Kain gets a turn again, while he's in the air, he does an AoE Brave plus AoE HP attack, and it recovers Brave to the party based on HP damage dealt. So once he does this attack when he lands, take note that he's not able to initiate chase, and it reverts his overhead buff stack to 0. And lastly, this reads that it fills 20% of own EX recast gauge. So you might be wondering, while Kain is in the air, does this mean you temporarily lose a party member and potentially jeopardizing yourself with only 2 party members left? No. Let me tell you what Kain is gonna do while he's in the air. So while in the air, Kain will evade all incoming attacks, including boss countdown abilities and debuffs. Yes, you're reading it right. Evade boss countdown. So while he's in the air, he won't be able to gain any buffs, Brave Battery, or even healing if the party members were to cast any. Okay, so this is kind of a double-edged sword, but hey, at least Kain is able to dodge everything while in the air. Next, this reads that while in the air, Kain cannot be selected for party abilities such as Ram's Swap or Onion Knight's LD. But according to this info over here, he will still participate during a chase sequence. Now that is hilarious, but at the same time, cool. Lastly, he will trigger an attack called Lancet whenever the enemies or the parties make a move. And his Lancet is an attack that does an AoE range Brave plus AoE HP attack. Moreover, it doesn't consume Brave. Pretty cool. Okay, honestly, I'm definitely digging Kain's LD weapon. I think that this is one of the first LD weapon that kinda changes the gameplay style. I don't really know how to explain it, but man, this is a really interesting LD. So that will be it. A pretty short video. What do you guys think? What are your pool plans for the remaining month of April? For me, I'm considering either using my BT tokens on Caius or Golbez. Kinda leaning more towards Golbez, and I'm hoping that he gets some kind of a dark enchant to the party. And if it does, then I'm pretty much sold. Selphie's LD? Not exactly too sure if I will be chasing for her. We'll probably only decide after seeing what kind of a rework she gets. And as for Kain, yes, this is a very tempting LD to gun for. So depending on my resources, I might actually go for Kain's LD. What about you guys? Let me know down in the comment section below, and until the next video, happy pulling and stay safe. Bye bye!